Now, in the last hour, Hurricane Beryl has strengthened into a Category 5 hurricane, becoming the earliest hurricane of its kind on record. Several Caribbean nations are assessing the damage after it made landfall over their territories in recent hours. At least one person has died in St Vincent and the Grenadines, with authorities warning this figure may go up. Power is down across the island of Grenada as Hurricane Beryl sweeps through. Reports from the tiny island of Carriacou, which is part of Grenada, say it's being flattened by the storm. Aruna Ayenga has the details.
No Caribbean paradise here as Hurricane Beryl hits the island of Carriacou, part of Grenada. The storm has whipped up winds of 150 miles per hour. It slammed into the capital, St George's, bringing torrential rain and strong winds.
To some extent, we have dodged a bazooka. A Category 4, almost Category 5 hurricane is almost as severe as it gets. And save for Carriacou and Petit Martinique and the northern part of Grenada, we have escaped largely unscathed.
Further northeast, Barbados was also hit, but it seems so far to have dodged the worst effects. People are clearing boats and debris. They're being warned that gusts are still coming and to batten down the hatches and stay indoors. These scenes were filmed by a BBC reporter in Barbados, out there to cover the cricket. This is what Hurricane Beryl looks like from space, the eye of the storm over the Caribbean. The image was taken from the International Space Station. And this satellite footage shows lightning flashing around the hurricane's eye. Meteorologists have been surprised at how quickly Beryl developed from a tropical depression to a major hurricane in just 42 hours. They say it's unusual for a hurricane of this strength to form this early in the year.
So we're seeing the season expand a little bit. The waters are getting warmer earlier in the year. In this case, they're near record warm. The oceans look like September. They really do. They don't look like July. Water temperatures are running 2 to 3 degrees Celsius above average right now, hence why there's so much more fuel to get these storms going.
St Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as Grenada, are seen as at the highest risk of damage. The storm's expected to move westwards towards Jamaica and Mexico, losing some of its power by the end of the week. Weather experts say the North Atlantic could get as many as 7 major hurricanes this year, up from the average 3 in a season. Aruna Ayenga, BBC News.
Well, Will Grant is monitoring the storm from Mexico City.
The first indications are that Hurricane Beryl has wrought real damage, particularly to the island of Grenada and to parts of St Vincent and the Grenadines, as it's moved through that region as somewhere between a Category 4 and Category 3 storm. Part of the problem, of course, is that because it intensified so quickly, just in a matter of around 48 hours, which incidentally is one of the fastest times that a storm has ever gone from a tropical depression to a Category 4 storm in hurricane history in the Atlantic. Because of that small lapse in time, maybe certain communities weren't able to react in time. Maybe people were caught on the back foot. Either way, against the ferocity of a storm that big, there may have been very little they can do beyond simply boarding up their homes, beyond gathering basic supplies and enough fuel to work their generators. The governments at this stage are just trying to assess how bad the damage is in their territories. Parts of Grenada, for example, are completely cut off, and it will take time for the authorities, the emergency planners, and of course the militaries in question to get an idea of how bad things are. And the worst, perhaps, part of all of this is we are so early in hurricane season. There is still a long, long way to go, and if Beryl is setting the tone, then that bodes very, very badly about what is to come. Nevertheless, the focus now, of course, is firstly on those nations that have already been hit by Hurricane Beryl and those that still lie in its path.
Will Grant there.